Hey guys,
Hey,
how's it going?
well, it's going.
No, seriously. I'm so happy it's Friday. Uh, Long, very long week at work. Lots of transitions, new beginnings, new folks starting. I think this is the first week I've done like 10 interviews first for new potential staff. It was wild. Uh, Apparently everybody up here is fucking bougie as shit and has all these job opportunities because some of these people didn't even show up.
Hey, let's cut this one.
Yeah, so, just a really long day at work. But either way, we're here now. This is my dad,
This is my kid, and we are.
comic and other cons. So we
Bet
come
your
to you
ass.
today with probably the most depressing episode yet of What If.
Oh
It's
man.
Doctor Strange's episode, and the title is What If Doctor Strange Lost His Heart and Not His Hands? Um, it's a lot. It's a lot. You just
But at least he could still pleasure himself because he still has hands. So, but good. I'm just
cool. Yeah, no, super cool. So spoilers will be coming. I mean, the episode fucking came out on Wednesday and today is Friday. We're recording this on the Friday after. So I don't know what the fuck you've been doing that you didn't watch this yet.
I don't know, like not watching it. So
Which also means that you must be staying off the internet altogether because we're late in posting these things because like everybody else does it whenever, and 30 seconds after the thing fucking comes out, they post it. So you've also possibly just been avoiding the internet. So good luck with that. I just feel like there's a lot you've missed out on in the last few days.
well, tough shit for them.
Lots of news has happened since then. But anyway, so this episode starts off with Doctor Strange and Christine. They are getting ready to go out on a date. It looks like it's an awards show or an awards dinner, excuse me, for something that he had won. But unfortunately, they never make it. And furthermore, Christine really doesn't make it. They get into a car accident on the highway because Stephen is impatient, and in the same way that he tried to pass a truck on a random cliff road, and spun off, and that's how he lost his hands. This time, hands were fine, but they flipped off a cliff, and Christine did not make it.
Well, I wonder if, like in the Captain Carter episode,
Mhm.
the point where the Watcher would have said, and this is what changed, right? Is that in the movie, Christine does not go with him. He's in the car by himself.
Right.
So I waited to see if the Watcher was going to say, and this is the moment that changes, is Christine is in the car with him.
Right.
When he goes because she was not in the car with him in the movie. So he was in a car by himself. So I found that an interesting change that wasn't really brought up.
Yeah.
It was answered later by the Ancient One, but it was not brought up by the Watcher.
Yeah. So he buries her. He's very sad. He's in the Sanctum Sanctorium, still very sad. And so, Wong, in his everlasting wisdom, decides to tell him, don't fuck with that time stone. I'm gonna go make some tea and your bitch ass needs to come join me. Like, effectively, that's what he said. He said the Disney version of that because it's Disney, but that's what he said.
Does Wong still only have a bucket a quarter worth of some mystic money?
No, I don't even think he has that anymore. It's been
he still wouldn't say no to that tuna on Rye.
Tuna on Rye, yeah.
Yeah,
after that, I guess, Doctor Strange kind of lulls into going back in time, and it basically is a series of unfortunate events where we witness him in multiple scenarios trying to save Christine. So he tries to do other things, and no matter what the ending is, Christine dies every time. You know, it fucking reminds me of the game, and everybody who is the same millennial and whatnot, same age as me, give or take, will fucking remember the Oregon Trail game. Nobody made it to Oregon. So Dad, just so you're aware, the Oregon Trail game is based off of the historical, like when everybody's moving west and, you know, for the gold rush and whatever. And essentially the game is supposed to mimic what it was like to live on the Oregon Trail and try to make it all the way out there for the gold rush. And if you know, had some hiccups along the way, you had to just kind of like hope that no one died or whatever. I'm pretty sure no one ever really made it to fucking Oregon. Like,
well, I'm black, so I don't have any idea what might be waiting for me in Oregon anyway. So I don't
yeah,
know
but you
why
were
I'm
playing a
doing
white
that.
family, so no one cared.
Okay, well,
But the
damn, I feel
wheel-
my FICO score going up already.
The wheel always broke off. Somebody always got smallpox. There was a flood. It just, you never made it. I don't know that, I don't personally know anybody who fucking made it to Oregon in that game. And that's basically what this was. It was just a recap of all of the PTSD I have as a child fucking playing that game, and that I never made it. And neither does Christine. So she basically dies every single time, and the Ancient One comes to visit him and says, you know, she's an absolute point. You can't save her. Her death must happen. And she explains that the reason why is because her death is what prompts him to go and seek answers and find the Ancient One and become the Sorcerer Supreme. So like it has to happen because that's, you know, those are the next steps in this timeline. Anyway, Strange doesn't feel like listening to her, shocker, and challenges her in the sense of, I'm going to do whatever I want, you know, you have to catch me first. And she does some mystical gang signs, throws up a shield, and does something to him. And initially you don't know what it was, you just see him appear someplace else. And you assume that he's been transported somewhere by the Ancient One. And then he talks to this guy like an idiot who speaks English, and basically leads him to this library that's in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Hey, are white people making fun of Doctor Strange when he has his hands up doing all kinds of shit the same way they always make fun of us? He's up there doing like this and like that and like this and all that. And anybody cracking up on him?
No,
Yeah, usually when I see some folks trying to make fun of black people, like, yeah, that's right, man, because you know, dog. You know,
I don't think so, because he's a wizard. So I feel like he gets a pass.
He's one of the big three.
Right.
Okay.
Definitely. For sure. For sure. Yeah, so he's in this library, he finds all these books, and for my first fucking thought as a lover of books and a lover of libraries was, he gets in there, he's in there for like 5 fucking minutes, and then he just calls all of these books from off the shelves and stacks them behind him. And I'm like, who the fuck is putting all those books back? There is one librarian, sir, and you met him 30 seconds ago. So you basically expect that he just gonna put all these fucking books back. You didn't even put him in any kind of organization. Like, this is bullshit.
He's a black guy. Of course he's gonna have to put the fucking books back. Nobody cares about Benson. They don't care. He's got to put those books back.
Is disrespectful is what it was. So anyway, he fucking spreads all the books out everywhere, and I think there were some pages ripped out. It was, first of all, disrespectful to libraries, and I felt some kind of way about it.
I think the pages that were ripped out was a call back to Doctor Strange when one of the villains, it's taken a page from the Cagliostro's book.
It don't make it right. I still feel some kind of way.
Oh, well, yeah.
So then he finds whatever answers he's looking for about how to reverse absolute points, and he finds a space in the library after talking to the other gentleman who thinks his name is Armani. Um,
Mhm.
and he starts absorbing basically all of these spirits. The first one didn't go so well. The monster from, I guess, the first episode appeared, and didn't have too many nice things to say in whatever way they communicate. So Stephen had put them back, and then he tried again, and he got this nice ass cape. I will say it was a nice looking cape, but I feel like that was his first step into the evil version of him when he put the Jafar cape on, because I'm pretty sure that was Jafar's cape.
Can I sneak in a few? And I'll meet you at the Cape
Mhm.
part. Okay. This was 36 minutes and 23 seconds of fucking pain and misery for Doctor Strange. You know, after the car accident, he suffered for the whole time after that. And the car accident happens like, I think that there was an old R&B reference, a reference in an old R&B song that says, "It takes a fool to learn that love don't love nobody." Love is a double-edged sword. It can be the best thing that happened to you, or it can be the worst thing that ever happened to you. In his case, it turned out that it was the worst thing that could have happened to him because of what he ultimately does in the name of love.
True.
You know how some people say, "Well, I'd sacrifice the whole world to save you," or well, he took that literally, and the world and beyond. Yeah, it was just a whole lot of pain for him, an immense amount of pain, and I blame almost all of it, honestly, on the actions that the Ancient One did.
Mhm.
And the best of intentions, the splitting in two. Well, it seemed great, but two things. One, she kept them both in the same universe. So why did she just make two separate timelines?
Apparently it was extraordinarily dangerous. So
And the other thing about that is, why didn't we let some time go by to see that he was getting closer to actually accomplishing such a thing?
oh, the
So
absolute
she broke
But he-
him in half before he was getting all that stuff done.
I thought he figured out the absolute point after the split because he was in the library. That's when it happened.
Yeah, I mean, she knew enough to come when she did. I'm surprised
Right.
she didn't know enough to not
To stop him
She
altogether.
couldn't see far enough to understand what was going to happen. When you remove the two sides of the duality of man, good and bad, and now they're in two separate parts, what do you think the bad part's going to do?
Right.
But
I mean, she's Ancient One. Maybe she got old timers.
So no, I know what that's like. I think I remember that. Anyway, yeah, I didn't understand that part of it. So, and as individuals, like I said, as individuals, we grapple every day with doing good or doing bad. And most of us are successful in doing good. Some of us are not successful at not doing bad. And if you separated those two, can you imagine the part of you where somebody cuts in front of you in the supermarket? You just pick up a jar of pickles and hit them in the head with it or something, you know. And those are perfectly good pickles. We all love pickles. But yeah, so, you know, it was unfortunately sad. It was also terribly sad to find out that they come to the realization that Christine's death is a fixed point in time, and it had to happen. Now, obviously, they changed that from the movie to do that in the animation, because that was not the case. Because obviously, he didn't become what he became because of her death, his hands. I mean, because when they're in the restaurant, the goddamn guy walks right in and just shoots her. I mean, when I watched it, the first time I watched it, I said, I go, what the hell? I said, Jesus Christ, he didn't even walk over to the register. He just walked right to her and just shot her. So no matter what was done, and again, remember, he did not pick her up on the date, and the goddamn building blew up.
Burned to the ground.
I mean, that was a terrible thing. And that's all part of what we're talking about, all his pain. He went, no matter what he did, it took him all those tries to realize there was nothing he could have done to have prevented that.
Right.
You know, and I think that all of that anger and rage of all those times trying and failing fueled the side that when he was split in two, that side was fueled. You know, that side of him was fueled. So, but we can now go ahead and you can jump right back into the point of where you were about the capes. I just wanted to get that other stuff in so that we both kind of meet up here.
So he's continuing to absorb all of the, like, I guess the spirits or the monsters in terms of being able to obtain enough power to fight off the absolute point rule. And it was a lot. He absorbed a lot of spirits or demons or beings, to the point where once he finally got that monster back from, you know, the one with the tentacles that were from the first episode, he was finally able to, you know, absorb them. But each time that he absorbed them, it was like he changed physically, for even just a second. So like when he absorbed the thing that kind of looked like the devil or what have you, his face changed. When he absorbed the dragon, every time he absorbed something, you could see a little bit of him change. And then he went back to looking like Doctor Strange until he really did look like Jafar, because he had the very like pointy chin and the pointy goatee.
Patience, Iago, patience.
So he finally is done. There's like many moons that have passed. And he goes back to the gentleman who, you know, originally led him there, and he's dying, and Doctor Strange wants to save him. And he says, no, it's okay. Death is inevitable for all of us, and it's my time. And so he goes on.
He's not just dying. Doctor Strange doesn't realize he's been absorbing these mystical creatures and beings for centuries.
Mm-hmm.
When he comes out, the guy's old and he asks what happened to him. He says, well, you've been in there for centuries doing this. So that ought to tell us, in centuries, we can't imagine the number of beings he absorbed.
Right.
I'd imagine that you're in there for a couple of centuries, you've absorbed quite a lot of things.
Right.
It also speaks to how long lived, probably through magics, that the sorcerers are. Because remember, the Ancient One was pulling magical energy from the dark realm, and that kept her alive for as long as she lived. So I wonder, are they all able to do that, to pull energy and extend their life beyond its normal mortal, beyond our normal, 100-year Methuselah thing there.
Right.
So yeah, that was another interesting point, was he had been doing it for centuries, but he was so engaged and so driven at the end, the means to an end, he had no realization of how much time had gone by. Gotta say one more thing.
Okay.
Marvel, you missed a golden opportunity when Doctor Strange entered the library complex and he was all cool, and then he steps on the runes in the floor, and the floor opens up and he falls down Where was my Loki reference when he hits the ground, where he either said, I've been falling for 30 minutes, or so that's what 30 minutes feels like. That's how it feels. You know, I said, man, as soon as I saw that, that's the first thing I said out loud. It was so funny to me. I said, man, what a missed opportunity to bring either one of those jokes in there. It was great, man, but they missed that opportunity.
Don't worry, we'll get into the writer's room someday.
Yeah, I know. I think somebody's got to bring that sandwich in for.
So anyway, he's talking to the guy as he's on his way out. And he basically tells him that he's only one half of Doctor Strange. And that's what leads the evil twin version to understand, like, that there's another half to him somewhere and that somehow he got separated. Now, while he's having this realization, the Glenda the Good Witch is talking to the Ancient One, who is explaining to him that he is also half, and explaining to him in like the conceptual sense of what she did and, you know, why she did it. And of course, this is our tried and true Doctor Strange. And he's like, oh, that probably wasn't a good idea. And she said, no, it's exceptionally dangerous, or extremely dangerous. And she said it so casually where I was like, yeah, bitch.
But he did it anyway.
Right. So then he goes and meets up with Wong, and he's telling Wong, like, this is what's going on. And they start putting this little spell, and there's all these fucking
runes,
tattoos and shit on his face. And it's a, you know, it's a protection spell, which we see later on doesn't have as much power for too long against the evil twin version. But after that, in the Sanctum Sanctorum, that's basically when he discovers that he's been found by his evil twin, because then he does the red sparkly thing and summons him down.
Before you get too far into that, let's not forget that when Doctor Strange gets up out of his seat that he had just sat down in, after Wong said, I'm going to go put the kettle on, all this stuff has happened with the evil Strange, and the good Strange gets up out of his chair and goes to have that tea. Now, meanwhile, for the other Strange, hundreds of years, centuries have passed, right? Many centuries have passed when he was absorbing all those creatures. The good Doctor Strange had, in the same time while he had been doing that for centuries, he just gets up and says, all right, well, I'm gonna go get that tea. So the difference in time is incredible.
And he leaves the whole thing.
Right, the difference in time though.
Right.
Like no time had passed. Like Wong had just said, I'm gonna go and make some tea. He sat down, he thought about doing it. And then he goes like, yeah, it's probably be a bad idea, fucking around. And then he gets up and he goes inside. Right. Meanwhile, for the other Strange, hundreds of years have passed. So it goes to show that in the mystical realm, different places, time functions differently, just like the TVA. Yes, because where him and Benson were, hundreds of years passed. Strange didn't realize it, but Benson did. The same time that was going on, in the same time it took for hundreds of years to go by there, the other good Strange is thinking about it. He gets up and he goes to go and get that tea before he gets ass jumped. So it was another fascinating thing about time, which of course, again, time, time stone. The other thing is that we have to gather that in this realm, the way that it's going right now, there isn't going to be a Thanos.
Oh, because of how much time has passed? Oh, because the
Well,
universe disappears?
but also perhaps because the time stone must have been destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, he puts the time stone down and he gets up and walks away from it.
Right.
The other Doctor Strange gets him, ultimately destroys everything, and when it closed down, so if everything, that would have meant in that time, in that reality, all Infinity Stones, all everything would have been destroyed.
Right.
But you get back to where you were.
I sort of forgot, so we're just gonna pick up anywhere. So anyway, Doctor Strange gets summoned down to whatever realm Evil Strange is at. And they have a go. And Strange only has but so much powers because he left the time stone back wherever, because I guess he just didn't anticipate all of this was gonna happen. So anyway, they're fighting and he's trying to, reason with him, and in the end, he gets absorbed. And just say it. I don't know what you're talking
The
about.
capes were fighting.
Yeah, I figured you wanted to just bring that up. So
Okay.
I was just gonna go through it. I didn't know what that was. It seemed oddly sexual, so I was just waiting.
Well, that could have been that. At least the police give me the benefit of handcuffing in the front,
I guess.
So.
So they're fighting, and he gets absorbed, and the evil Steven can hear the Watcher and is concerned because once he gets absorbed, he brings Christine back. And that's when everything goes to fucking hell in a handbag. And so he brings Christine back. Christine's freaked out because he looks like this giant monster because all of the spirits that he has absorbed basically are starting to show. And the Watcher basically tells him about himself as he realizes that he has really damaged the universe, and that he really did fuck this up. The Watcher's like, yeah, no, even if I wanted to help you, I'm not going to it because I can't, but also I don't want to. And I thought it was kind of funny, the interaction they had, because he was very crass. He was just like, yeah, no, this was your fucking mistake, so get your shit together and deal with it. You fucking did this, so you cleaned it up. By the way, the Watcher was seen 4 times in this episode, and this is the first episode where he interacts with a character in the universe that he is watching over. Before, he's just kind of in the background and nobody knows he's there, but Doctor Strange does recognize that he's there because he hears him at one point and asks who's there, but the Watcher goes away. And then as he's basically watching the universe crumble in front of him, he sees the Watcher and says, you can help this, you can fix. And the Watcher, gives his normal spiel of, I fucking can't help you. Sorry, not sorry. In the end, the universe crumbles. Christine fades off. I guess they didn't want to use dust anymore, so it looks like this weird liquid thing that everybody dissipates into because everybody's already been dusted. So, and then that's it. The episode ends with a very sad, evil Doctor Strange in what looks like this pink prism of what the universe used to be, because it just basically gets destroyed, and then he's just sad there forever, I guess. And that's pretty much a summary of the episode. It was really fucking unfortunate. Yeah, no, but the cape on cape thing, I know you wanted to bring that up, so.
Yeah, oh no, it was a great scene with the capes, because it took you back to the carpet in Aladdin.
Mm-hmm.
That it seemed to be a sentient thing. And it was sad to see Doctor Strange, the good Doctor Strange's cape, be destroyed.
But I feel like that was almost a foreshadowing.
Yeah, it was destroyed. But it was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Because we like the cape seemed to always have its own being, throughout the MCU movies. So it was good that they kept that part in the animated show.
I also feel like the evil cape was petty because there were parts where the good cape was trying to see and the evil cape would be like, where are you going? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Mind your business. What are you looking at?
No,
And
that's
I thought
evil.
that was funny.
That's evil for you, honey. um, I, it, um, I, I don't think that he heard the Watcher. I think
He said, "Who's
sensed
there?"
the Watchers. He sensed the Watcher's presence.
But he said, I'm pretty sure he said, who said that? Who is there? And then turns around. Like, I think he heard him talking.
So, which would be fascinating in and of itself, as so many fourth walls broken, because he was talking to us.
Right.
I think he sensed the Watcher's presence there, and he said, "Who's there?" And then the Watcher spoke to him, and I think at the end.
But he didn't speak to him right away. He could hear it, and then that was it. And then when he fucked up the universe, then he starts saying, you up there, you can fix this. And that's when he talks. But I'm pretty sure he heard the Watcher, because I'm recollecting that he said, who said that? And
I thought he said, who's there? Meaning he could sense that there was something there, but he couldn't localize it. He couldn't tell where it was. He couldn't see anything.
I'll rewatch the episode and I'll put a comment in for what's correct.
Because the Watcher was speaking throughout every episode, but I think because the Doctor Strange was the mystic arts master, he could sense the Watcher. And then finally, ultimately, when the Watcher finally did break that fourth wall and spoke to him, he said, you're a god. You can fix this. And the Watcher said, I'm not a god. He said, and neither are you.
Right.
And the Watcher also said that he was going to let this universe collapse in on itself to save countless others.
Right.
But the other thing is that we know that it ended where Doctor Strange was not destroyed. He was the last thing left in the universe in that prism. Mm-hmm. We also know that through the trailer that shows the preview of all of what's going to happen later on with the zombies and all that we do see Captain Carter back to back with Doctor Strange at some point. So Doctor Strange, I don't know how he gets out of that, but and it's evil Doctor Strange. So I don't know if evil Doctor Strange, because it's still the same look to him. If evil Doctor Strange gets out and he is coming to terms with what he has done, that he has destroyed
everything.
He destroyed an entire universe, and still didn't get what he wanted. So you destroyed everything, and you still didn't get what you wanted. And I think that that's a moral lesson for a lot of people. You know, that you destroy do all this, right? You burn it all to the ground, and then you still have nothing.
Right.
So nothing to show for it. So literally, he had literally nothing.
Not a thing.
So he was without a tire.
Yes.
So, but yeah, it was
good old Sorcerer Hermione.
Yeah, it was really good, and it was sad right until it ended.
Right.
God,
so it was not another happy moment at all.
It was just sad from as soon as the crash happens. At the point, I think it was like 26 seconds into the thing that the crash happens. It's less than a minute. And then it's just misery until the very end, and then the credits roll up. It was just misery.
Right.
And it was and don't get wrong, it was a very good episode.
Right.
It was very good. But damn if it wasn't the saddest. If there was a tearjerker, aside from the fact that we know Chadwick had passed, and that this is part of his last voice acting or acting work for the MCU. Mm-hmm. This was the saddest thing that they have put out so far. Yet incredibly informative, and I know it's going to play a big part. Sure, it will. It's going to play a big part in the series What If going forward. And I believe that what lets us know that this is the case is the Watcher speaks to him. And I think it was incredibly important. And I think that what the Watcher said to him is hopefully what jars him to come back to try to get out and do the right thing from then on.
Right.
Because I guess there is no way for him to separate or remove. He can't. I don't think he'll be able to remove all those creatures. I don't know how he does that.
Yeah, no, I don't know. And he destroyed the universe, so he don't have no books.
Yeah,
so.
and remove them to where? Because you essentially killed all the people. You killed all the people or things or whatever they were and absorbed them.
This thing and just, put them in.
But they're all gone. The time stone as we knew it from his time is gone. So he can't go back in time that way and do that. That's gone. But like I said, he shows up at another the episode in the series with Captain Carter, and she's not gonna take any shit. So, because he just looked like a Nazi to her. So,
okay.
But yeah, so it was very good. Another fabulous episode. Just like the MCU, tugging on your emotional heartstrings, with great effect.
Right. No, it's a very good episode.
It was just so sad that he did all that and got nothing.
Literally.
You kill people. You kill people for hundreds of years. You kill beings from all over the universe. You kill all of them, and then you killed everybody else, and you still ended up with nothing. So yeah. I think Genghis Khan said it: in order for me to succeed, all else must fail. Well, he took that to heart because everything else failed. Yeah.
Right.
So it will be fascinating to see how he gets out of this. And this is the second episode that ended. It just ended, as it were.
Right.
And this one ended, but we understood he was trapped in that prism by himself, to suffer till we don't know when. But
it's like the soul stone for him.
Yeah, it also reminded me of how the episode with all the Avengers getting killed, and it just ends. Like there could be another part or not. It just ended like that, like in a surprise. It just ended. Right. But I think this particular one with the Doctor Strange, it will be referenced in the future, like how he gets out. He may mention something to Captain Carter or something, but because at some point I think they'll bring all of them together so that by the time we get to episode 9, there'll be that big Avengers type thing, collaboration where everybody is together, and that'll take us with an end credit of that into season 2.
Right.
So, but yes, it was another incredibly good episode. And I think we can both go ahead and give this one a big Comic and Other Cons 2 thumbs up, because it was really good. It was really sad. I mean, you just felt bad for him the whole time.
Hopefully, the promo has gone up for the next episode, so I'll watch that today and get an understanding of what the episode 5 is.
Oh, and of course,
I feel like I don't even know what to do now because it's just so sad.
Well, I have on an Invicta Pro Diver automatic tritium with tritium tubes in it. Glows for 25 years. Doesn't need no light, no charging, it's glowing right now. You just can't see it. But me and my watches, so I have one on for every episode.
Yes.
But what we got coming up, kid?
So literally tomorrow we're gonna go see Shang-Chi, and so we'll post a video about Shang-Chi. We're very excited. We're gonna do our normal thing. There'll be pictures and probably like a quick live video like before we get into the actual theater. of us on our Instagram page, which is Comic and Other Cons. So we'll post some stuff there that you'll get before the actual video goes up.
And
And
we're
then,
gonna
of
get down
course-
on some bison bacon cheeseburgers at
Yes.
Ted's Montana Grill.
Mhm.
Yummy all night.
So we'll be there for dinner and then we'll head over to the movies. But otherwise, there's just that. And then next week's episode of What If that will be upcoming in terms of videos to our channel. So of course, as always, like and subscribe, leave us comments on things that you might have an interest in. Us either getting, to watch and giving our perspective on, or us just watching, whether you give a shit about if we give a perspective or not, whatever. But feel free to comment, like, subscribe, share with your friends, tell your mom, farmers' moms. We're just posting these videos partially for fun at this point. I mean, we're not in it right now at this point for any kind of money because we literally don't. Like, we just started this like a week ago, but this is just something
This
we're
is
doing
just
for
us.
our own entertainment as well as yours.
This is just us, as if the two of us were in a room talking to each other or talking on the phone about something. This is how we talk all the time. We're not making this up
I
for
do
people.
curse
Hey,
this
people.
much in real life.
No, we are this fucked up all the time.
All the
This is just us.
Right.
And anybody who knows us will say, God damn if that ain't them. So this is just us. So
join us on Instagram and be sure to stop back on by for our Shang-Chi video. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Enjoy your
Appreciate you, bitches.
weekend. Stay safe, especially for everybody who was hit hard by all the recent weather stuff. The
we got a
floods,
fuck
the
ton of rain.
tornadoes.
Oh God, we got a lot of rain.
It was bad. So I hope everybody is okay, and please be safe out there regardless. Thanks for joining us.
That's my kid.
That's my dad.
And we are
Comic and Other Cons. Have a good night.
Thank you.